So I was testing out my mask after the kids went to bed, and I used some of my son's hockey tape and taped the neck around the Michael Myers mask,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's got a big slit in the back, and then you're supposed to tighten it somehow. And I guess like if you're legit, you put like some kind of Velcro or something. I need to get some like military grade Velcro
Mm-hmm.
for the mask. But so anyways, I couldn't get it off, and I'm like, God damn it! And I didn't want to wake up my kids and scare the shit out of them. So I went ahead and was doing my decorations outside with my mask on, and I was like,
With the
"Fuck, dude,
Michael
it's like
Myers mask on?
yeah, dude."
That's awesome.
And I was like, damn, it's hard to breathe in this thing. I didn't realize the mouth doesn't have like a slit. So anyways, I look and I see my neighbor's house is all lit up, like every light is on in the house, and I'm like, all right, I'll get them to just cut the tape for me. So I go over there, and I get to the door and I'm like, wait, I'm still holding a goddamn machete. What am I doing? So I hide it between my legs, and then I knock on the door, and dude, I scared the shit out of the guy who lives there.
I'm
He
sure
was
you
terrified. Like he didn't know what Halloween was, so he didn't recognize the mask and that it's like a Halloween mask. And motherfucker was, thank God
What did
he's
he
not
do?
a gun owner, man. Motherfucker would have shot me. He's like, who the fuck are you? He's like, get over, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm trying to talk, but like, there's no
Is there-
hole in it. Yeah, pretty much. I need to cut a slit in the mouth. And,
This will be the way you get killed. That is hilarious. Imagine that guy was
I
a gun
know.
owner, and like
and
that's the way you go.
yeah, I know. So I'm like pointing at the tape on my neck, and I'm pulling the tape, and I'm like, I need you to. I was like, I need you to help me. And I'm like, it's Ryan. Ryan went to. I'm like, your neighbor. The motherfucker like couldn't hear me, and I'm like, fuck, what do I do? I was like, oh, I'll take my license out. So I take my license out. I'm like, it's me, man. Come on, Jesus Christ. Obviously, from the knowing the other perspective, I guess that could be kind of terrifying. It's
Yeah.
Halloween, though. I mean, who would assume though? It's a I don't know. So he
If you don't see it
apparently
coming.
he doesn't have good close vision, so he couldn't read my license at first. And I'm like, no, dude, look at the license. And so he looks at it closer, and he's like, Ryan was. Oh, he's like, oh, okay. And then like she's like about to call 911, so she hangs up the phone. And I'm like, sorry guys to imposition you here, but I need help cutting myself out of my mask here. I didn't want to ruin it. I saw the lights on at your house. We know each other really well, which is
Yeah.
the ironic thing.
So they
And,
didn't know what that mask, what that represents.
He didn't.
So, but
She knew what it
woman
was.
did? Okay.
But yeah, she just was queuing off of his terror, I guess.
Right. Why did you have a machete?
It's just part of the costume. I
But
should've
why?
just
But
left
why
it.
did you have it with you when you went over to your neighbor's house?
I didn't even think about it, man. I thought of it. They didn't. He actually didn't see it. He didn't see it because I
Oh,
hid
that
it
could have been
between
even
my
worse.
legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
said
hid it
that, but
between
I
my
mean,
legs,
so they
but-
didn't notice the blade between your legs also to make
No,
it
they
even
didn't.
more weird.
No, he was so focused looking at my face.
Okay.
He didn't notice. But yeah, I noticed as soon as I knocked on the door, like, oh, should probably hide this because that could look real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun. But we ended up having a really good chat. I haven't talked to them in like a couple of months. So.
Well, some people really open up and have a deep conversation once they've seen our life flash before their eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
It really causes an awakening in you. That's cool,
Pretty
though.
much.
Whatever you
Yeah.
got to do to get there.
So I was like, yeah, thanks for helping me. I appreciate it. I was like,
That's
my
funny.
choices, in my mind, my choices were wake up my kids to get my like son to help me, but waking someone up like that'd probably be pretty terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, or go to trusted neighbors who I know don't have guns. I was like, I'm gonna go to the ones without guns and all their lights are on.
Yeah.
And that way I don't have to ruin my nice new mask. It costs $70.
I guess it would really help if you knew Michael Myers was a character, like a Halloween character.
Yes.
Who doesn't know that?
I think, yeah, I know.
What grown
I think
person?
that would have been pretty good.
So every Halloween they've been on this earth, they've never once seen that costume and been like, oh, what's that? And then someone's like,
Apparently
that's
not.
Michael Myers from Halloween. Everyone knows that.
I mean, I thought so. That's why in the back of my mind, I was like, obviously they're gonna know this is a Halloween costume.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, why would you even assume the worst case? In my mind, it made sense. But
So
in the moment when I hid the blade, I was like, wait a second, this could be a little offsetting. And then of course his
yeah.
reaction was like, oh my god, who are you? I was like, I mean, I'm wearing like
and you were
my
like
black rifle. I mean, I'm wearing. You can see all my tattoos, dude. I was just like,
I don't care. Well,
how do you not
you went
know
to
who
their
I am?
house with that creepy fucking mask on. It was dark out, right?
No, it was all lit up. Like it was like fucking daylight at
No,
their
no, no,
house.
no, no.
Like,
Was it
but
dark? Was the sun
it was
down?
nighttime. It was yeah. It
Yes,
was nighttime,
exactly,
so.
dude. You're such. I don't care how lit up it was. You come into their house in the middle of the night with the fucking Michael Myers mask like secured to your face. You can't take it off, and a knife. Yeah, I love that you brought the knife. I don't care that you put it between your legs or that whatever. Like that's just like. Why would you bring that with you? That's amazing.
I should have just dropped that. I don't.
No,
I mean,
no kidding. It's a perfect storm.
In my
you could have
mind,
gotten like smoked at. You could have gotten shot in the wrong situation there.
I mean, I'm glad I hit it at the last second.
Yeah, but
yeah, it didn't even. In my mind, I didn't even think about it until I was like right there. Like, dude, it's not a toy from someone else's perspective. I'm like, I better hide this shit real quick.
Exactly.
But that was fun.
That's pretty awesome.
So.
That's a funny story.
Yeah.
How would that end if we were taking that story and punching it up? What would be the funniest ending to that story? You getting shot by the neighbor?
Yeah.
I think that's probably the funny angle.
I mean, you wouldn't shoot like through your door. I mean, that's not self-defense. If you shoot
no. How about this? You were like, oh, it's me, it's Ryan, and he can't hear you, so he's running through his house like trying to hide from you, and you're chasing behind him like, no, it's me, it's Ryan, and you're chasing.
You can't understand what I'm saying?
I'm wearing a Michael Myers mask. It's for Halloween. And he can't hear you, so he's running and running.
And then he trips and falls on the knife he picked up to defend himself or something.
And dies?
Or dies.
And you get blamed, the cops are called. The cops are called, and then the cops come to the house, and they're like, freeze, and you're like,
and they
no,
shoot me.
You don't, no, you're like, no, you don't understand. It's a Michael Myers mask. I'm Ryan, and they can't hear you. They're like, we can't hear this guy. Bring him to jail, and they bring you, and then it goes to like your trial, and you're still stuck in that mask, and you're trying to defend yourself on the stand, and you're like, no, listen. And they,
I want to speak to a magistrate.
I want an attorney. This isn't fair. And nobody can understand you, so they just send you to prison for life. And you're like and you still have that mask on. And no one ever took it off, and nobody can understand what you're saying.
Man. Yes. Oh man. Yeah. So that was my like 9 to 10.
That's a good one.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween to Bergema. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween to Bergema.
It's almost time, kids. The clock is ticking. Be in front of your TV sets for the Horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween to Bergema. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween to Bergema.
I couldn't get the mask off. Got my goddamn Freddy Krueger hand. That's not helpful.
Wait, was that on also?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't even say that, man.
Yeah, I had the whole.
Wait. You had the Jason mask on top of the Halloween mask, and the Freddy hand.
Picture. Yeah.
And you had the machete.
Had on. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how in my mind. That's why it was obviously a comical like Halloween costume. Like it wouldn't be like a serious like serial killer.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Or it would be
seemed
the
odd.
most insane thing you'd ever seen in your life if somebody showed up at your door in the middle of
But
the night with
again,
all that shit on.
I have
And
very
you don't,
distinct
dude. You
tattoos
you
on my
didn't say.
arms.
I don't care about that. You didn't mention you had all three of those things on. You only said Michael Myers. That like makes it 10 times worse. How could anyone How could they recognize that as Michael Myers when you're wearing all those three? Oh, you're like, what the hell? This
Maybe.
guy's like a hybrid movie monster man. He has all of them.
It's a montage, my friend.
It's not. Yeah. It's not
a
his fault.
Halloween montage. Oh no, I mean, if you put it, if I put myself in his position, I can see how that was a lot worse than I thought. And me just
Can you?
casually walking over to one of my best known neighbors. Yeah. So.
That's a pretty awesome. That's an awesome event. I like that.
So yeah, just a normal Tuesday night.